I was an urban explorer until I found the wrong room. Urban exploration was my thing. Abandoned hospitals, empty factories, forgotten tunnels, I'd seen them all. There was something addictive about stepping into places left to rot, imagining the lives that once filled them. But last month, I found a place I wish I could forget. It started with a tip from an online forum, an old hotel on the outskirts of town, condemned for decades. No history of hauntings, no weird legends. Just a rotting husk waiting to be explored. Perfect. Getting in was easy. The front doors were chained shut, but a basement window had been smashed out. I slid through, my flashlight cutting through the darkness. Inside, it was the usual, peeling wallpaper, shattered glass, furniture covered in dust. The air smelled of mildew and something else, something sour. The rooms were empty, the hallways eerily silent. But as I made my way to the top floor, I noticed something strange. One of the doors at the end of the hallway looked different. Unlike the others, it was clean, no dust, no graffiti, no signs of decay. Just a plain, white door with a brass handle. It shouldn't have been there. Every instinct told me to leave, but my curiosity got the better of me. I turned the handle. The door swung open without a sound. The room beyond wasn't abandoned. It was a hotel room, pristine and untouched. The bed was made, the carpet clean. A single lamp on the nightstand cast a warm glow. And then I saw him. A man sat in the chair by the window, his back to me. He wore a dark suit, hands folded neatly in his lap. He didn't move. Didn't acknowledge me. Something was wrong with him. His head tilted at an odd angle, like his neck was too loose. His fingers twitched. I should have run. Instead, I stepped closer. "Sir?" I said, my voice barely above a whisper. He turned his head, only his head, to face me. His body didn't move. His eyes were wrong, too wide, too dark, reflecting the room like glass. His mouth curled into a slow, unnatural smile. "You found the room." His voice was smooth, calm. I took a step back. "You're not supposed to be here," he continued, voice still pleasant. "But now that you are." I ran. I didn't look back, didn't stop until I was outside, gasping for air. I scrambled into my car and floored it, heart pounding. I told myself I imagined it. A trick of the light. My mind playing games. But when I got home, my phone buzzed. A new message. No number. No contact name. Just 2 words. Wrong room. I haven't gone exploring since. But that doesn't mean it left me alone. The first night after I got home, I double-checked my door locks and shut every window. I even blocked the peephole, just in case. But I still couldn't sleep. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw him, his 2 wide eyes, his glassy reflection staring into me. At some point, exhaustion won, and I drifted off. I woke up to the sound of my phone buzzing. A new message. "Open the door." I jolted upright, hard hammering. My phone buzzed again. "I know you're awake." I turned on the bedside lamp, breath shaking. My apartment was silent, the only noise coming from the street below. Slowly, I got up and walked toward the front door. I pressed my ear against it. Silence. Then. Knock. 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 I jumped back, hand flying to my mouth. 3 slow, deliberate knocks. I stood there, frozen, barely breathing. I wanted to scream. I wanted to run. But I didn't either. After what felt like an eternity, I forced myself to check the peephole. At first, I saw nothing. Just the empty hallway of my apartment building. But then, a shape shifted in the shadows. He was there. The man from the hotel room. But he wasn't standing. He was crouched, bent at an impossible angle, his face tilted up toward the peephole. His lips stretched into that same awful smile. I stumbled backward. My phone buzzed again. "You left too soon." I didn't sleep that night. Or the next. Over the next few days, things got worse. Objects in my apartment moved when I wasn't looking. My bedroom door creaked open on its own, just an inch or two, like someone was peeking inside. I started waking up at 3:03 a.m. every night, my sheets damp with sweat. And the messages didn't stop. "Let me in. You were supposed to stay. Don't make me come inside." I tried to block the number. It didn't work. The messages just kept coming. Then one night, the power went out. I was sitting on my couch, scrolling mindlessly through my phone, trying to distract myself, when the apartment was suddenly plunged into darkness. At that exact moment, my phone vibrated again. "Look outside." I hesitated, dread curling in my stomach. Slowly, I stood and made my way to the window. The city street below was still lit, cars passing, people walking. But my reflection in the glass. It wasn't alone. Behind me, standing in the dark, was the man. I spun around. Nothing. My hands were shaking as I turned back to the window. Now, my reflection was normal. I was alone. Then, my phone vibrated one last time. I forced myself to look. "You're looking the wrong way." A cold breath brushed the back of my neck. I ran. I didn't stop running until I was outside, breath ragged, vision blurred. I didn't care that I was barefoot, that my neighbors were staring. I didn't go back inside. I couldn't. Instead, I checked into a motel on the other side of town. I sat in the corner of the room, every light on, watching the door until exhaustion finally won again. When I woke up, my phone was gone. In its place, on the motel nightstand, was something else. A hotel key. Brass. Old. And engraved with the words, "Room 303. I checked out immediately. I moved the next day. New apartment, new number, new everything. I left behind my old life, my old habits, and especially my old hobby. I don't explore anymore. Because some doors aren't meant to be opened. And some rooms won't let you leave. I thought moving would be the end of it. I thought I could outrun whatever I had disturbed. But whatever was in that hotel wasn't done with me. It started small. The first night in my new apartment, I felt watched. Every time I turned a corner, I expected to see him. But there was nothing. Just my paranoia eating me alive. Then, I noticed the door. My bedroom door had been open when I went to bed. But when I woke up, it was shut. I told myself I must have closed it in my sleep. Then, the next night, I left the closet door open. When I woke up, it was closed, too. Each night, something changed. At first, it was subtle, doors moving, items shifting, the feeling of something being off. But soon, the messages returned. New number. Same words. "You still have the key." I checked my bags. My pockets. Every drawer, every surface. The hotel key was gone. I had left it behind at the motel. And yet, that night, when I went to the bathroom and turned on the light, it was sitting on the sink. Brass. Old. Room 303. I threw it away. I didn't even hesitate. I drove to the farthest dumpster I could find and tossed it inside. I watched the garbage truck collect it the next morning, just to be sure. That night, my phone buzzed again. That wasn't very nice. I turned my phone off. I stuffed it under my pillow and told myself I was safe. Then, at 3:03 a.m., I woke up. Someone was knocking. Knock. 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 I held my breath, eyes locked on my bedroom door. It was still closed. But I knew the sound wasn't coming from the front door of my apartment. It was coming from inside. From my closet. I didn't move. The knocking continued. Slow. Rhythmic. Then, a voice. "You left too soon." I bolted from the bed, threw open the door, and ran. I didn't stop running until I was outside. Again. Barefoot. In the freezing night air. I slept in my car. In the morning, I went back inside, fully prepared to pack my things and leave. But the moment I opened my front door, I stopped cold. Something had changed. The layout was the same. The furniture untouched. But the walls weren't mine. They were covered in faded floral wallpaper. Just like the ones in the hotel. My apartment wasn't my apartment anymore. It was the room. The same nightstand. The same old lamp, casting its eerie glow. The same heavy silence pressing down on me. And then, the closet door creaked open. And I saw him. Sitting in the chair. Hands folded. Head tilted at that unnatural angle. Grinning. I turned to run. But the door was gone. There was no door. Just walls. The man in the chair spoke. His voice was calm, smooth. "You came back." I shook my head. "No. You never really left." I turned in circles, heart racing, searching for a way out. There was none. The walls stretched endlessly, swallowing the room, the light dimming. The last thing I remember was the man standing up. The room swallowed me whole. I woke up in a hospital. A construction crew had found me in the remains of the old hotel. They said I was curled up in a corner of room 303, staring at the wall, mumbling nonsense. But the hotel had been demolished years ago. They told me the entire site was nothing but rubble. I tried to explain. I tried to tell them I had an apartment, a life. But when I was discharged, there was nothing waiting for me. No lease under my name. No records of my phone number. My apartment complex? Didn't exist. It's like my entire life was erased. I don't know how long I've been here. The walls are always the same. The doors always lead back to this room. The man in the chair watches. He's always watching. And every night, at 3:03 a.m., I hear the knocking. Knock. 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 I was an urban explorer. But I found the wrong room. And now, I can't leave.